Hey, what's up, everyone? It's been a little bit. I think basically for everyone with the gauntlet going on, a lot of people kind of get overly excited. You see the peak of end game, like hardcore Path of Exile gameplay. At least for me, I kind of feel like I'm sitting there not sure what I want to do next. What I have in store for you guys now, I think is going to be pretty cool. I sat down and I spent 2 days studying Ben's, at least his Act 1 through 5 runs, specifically with the Poisonous Concoction Champion, feeling just how damn strong that is, and doing some practice myself. I took a lot of notes, and it was pretty cool, like going through that experience, just seeing how powerful it was. I did a couple runs in regular SSF, and then I did a run in Gauntlet itself. It's actually pretty eye-opening when you play like the meta best build by the best player in the entire world, and you see how powerful that is and like the way all the mechanics work, but you also understand like how optimized they play it mechanically. But my big goal here is to just be better at the game and to improve as a player, and I want to share that with you guys in my process through which I do that. And I think that'll be a cool like instructional thing we can do for the next couple weeks. I'm kind of in like this weird middle area where I like doing like the softcore trade fun stuff, but I also like participating in the hardcore world. And I'm in this real weird middle ground where I kind of don't belong in either world, right? Like I don't do like the juicing big money stuff, but I also don't do pure focus hardcore solo self-found racing. And honestly, I'm not really interested in like big juicing money stuff, especially with all the drama going on right now. I'm glad I don't live in that world, honestly. I want to be a better player, and I want to be able to consider myself good at the game. I think I'm pretty good. Like I'm definitely above average in terms of like mechanical skill and understanding of everything. But, putting it into practice, especially in a hardcore solo self-found environment, pulled it off successfully in the past. I have 4 placements in the top 3 in hardcore solo self-found races. I even took first place with Hardcore Trickster in the last Delve event. But, in terms of like hanging with the big boys, I'm just not there. I haven't buckled down and really pushed myself in that regard too much. And so what you've been seeing in the background is I started a fresh solo self-found Sanctum run. Totally fresh. I think I might have had like a couple extra alchemies from a previous run left in my stash, but basically brand new account on SSF Sanctum. Can I push myself into comfortably doing more and more content in the game, understanding a lot of these scaling mechanics that, maybe I haven't forced myself into in the past. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the detail, what this is, what I've been able to pull off, and just show you guys what this is. All right, so this is my level 89 Elementalist Golemancer Spark build, and I really like it. It's pretty cool. It is absolutely not fully put together anything. I've been YOLOing it. Like the character, I made this character a little over 24 hours ago. Slash played's not going to be accurate. I left it open for hours when I was doing dinner and everything. So, we could estimate maybe about 16 to 17 hours played right now is probably about accurate. I am level 89, and it feels pretty good. Now, in terms of like, it felt absolutely incredible scaling into yellow maps with like barely upgrading my gear. Definitely getting into the red maps. I gotta, I'm in SSF. I gotta go back, find those niches that you want to go and farm, right? That's like the big thing that you want to do in SSF is you want to look around like, okay, I gotta go into heist. This is going to be my best way to get, a good replica unique that might, open up my build. Or, like the big thing that I'm kind of running into right now is I need Vol Orbs to continue progressing my Atlas. With all that said, I've been able to pull off quite a bit. This character is only 1 day old, and I'm in SSF, and I just want to show you guys what I got. 55 chaos, like this is the general currency right here, but it's better than that. These are the notable uniques that I found. I also have a 6-link that is ready to craft up. I have a Heat Shiver. I have an Inya's Epiphany. I actually got a Venters, Black Suncrest. Worm Signs are pretty cool. Comb Spirit's really good. I got March of the Legion. I got Abiscos. 3 Divines. And I even killed Baron as well. Big thing here is I did get Khaleesi's Grace in one of the tier 1 maps that I was running, which allows me to run Spark in a pseudo 5-link. So I'm still on a 4-link as well. As you can see, I have 68 map completion, and I have now done some T13. I did a T14 map as well. With completion, right? Vault, fully rare and vault map and all that. I am not a god tier speedrunner or anything like that, but you can do it. And it's about like understanding your progression. And I want to focus on that in this video of what I actually did there. We'll go over the build and I'll probably just end up talking too much, but I don't want to focus on that. The focus here is about the SSF progression. This is Spark. As you can see, the way that Spark works, if you've never used it, is you shoot out these little spark projectiles. and they bounce around. They have a duration. They can pierce the enemies, can hit multiple times. So you want to scale as much duration as you can and have additional pierce there. So each one can hit, 4 or 5 times. As long as they're just like bouncing around, especially if you're in like a tight little corridor, all of your sparks bouncing around can scale more and more and more damage. And you get this like ramping damage effect. Yeah, it's just actually a really fun skill. It's a skill that I've kind of like stayed away from using because it's been so meta. Like it was meta before I even started playing PoE. Kind of fallen out of favor here and there. It is more popularized in the past couple leagues again. It's kind of showing up again more. It's just really, really fun. You stand there, you cast, you flood the entire screen with stuff. It hits things behind you, to your left, to your right, everything. Really, really comfortable skill once everything gets kind of scaled up. The other thing about Spark is you can preload, right? Before you spawn the boss, you can start and fill the room with sparks, and then you can like dash forward, spawn the boss. Now, the key here, as you'll notice, is I am a Golemancer. So I am using Chaos, Lightning, Stone, and Fire Golems. Eventually, I would also want to use an Ice Golem, probably replace the Flame Golem with an Ice Golem when I scale into crit, but I am currently non-crit. I am using Elemental Overload, so my skill will get 40% more damage if I crit within the last 8 seconds. And in Hardcore Solo Self-Found, right, that's really difficult, to get out of Elemental Overload, but that is the long-term goal. So yeah, I have Kalisa's Grace right here with level 18 faster casting, linked to Pierce, Inspiration, and added lightning damage. Later on, we can toss in Spell Echo, we can toss in Lightning Penetration, things like that, just to attack even faster. That's kind of what we're going to go for right there. So the way that a Golemancer works is the more golems that you have, the stronger that they are. 25% increase effective buffs per golem for that golem. That's actually scaling. The more that you have, the stronger that individual one is. Now, if you summon multiple of the same, it doesn't stack like that. So you don't really care about doubling up like that. But if you can summon multiple golems of the same type and still have all of the types, so like if I had 5 golems, but I couldn't sneak in the ice golem, I could summon another fire golem, and then they would all get stronger by 25%, but yeah, it wouldn't be like doubling fire, right? The other thing that I have is the Golem Commander, which, just makes them all stronger, allows me to have my 4 that I have right now. On top of that, we're using Mastermind of Discord. So Wave of Conviction is actually a minus 40 res. It's 15 plus 25. And I was originally playing around with Shaper of Storms, but it was just too annoying, and I wasn't getting as much value as I liked out of going for Max Shock. And then I was considering Heart of Destruction, but honestly, until I get really good spell suppression on my gear, better defenses, I was getting blown up a lot from a lot of just like elemental damage. I only have 3,800 life right now. The goal is to get more of that eventually, but I do want to like scale my offenses a little bit more focused right now. Bastion of Elements, it was night and day. I'm kind of YOLOing right now. Like I am volleying every single red map that I can, just pushing my progression, playing softcore SSF, not worrying about dying too much, but I do want to stay alive and get my XP and eventually get really tanky. Yeah, I was getting blown up a lot before I grabbed Bastion of Elements. Cool thing is since we have some golems and we're kind of scaling some minions, I took Spiritual Aid right here, which allows me to get increased damage for minion damage. So increases and reductions to minion damage also affect you. So all of these nodes here that give you increased minion damage also apply to me. That allows me to use a Bone Helmet for 20% damage. And then I also have 30% damage on this Bone Ring right here. It's a real nice way to kind of shore up some early damage, especially since with Spark, we're looking to scale so much cast speed instead of going into increased damage. It really helps a lot since usually a build like this is kind of hard to get the increased damage, whereas other builds usually have hundreds and hundreds by now. Other than that, there's nothing crazy in the passive tree. I guess other unique thing here is, like I said, we want to go into duration. So we have Potency of Will with the 10% more skill effect duration right here. I did take Shaper. Eventually, I do want to go down to Constitution right here for, a nice chunk more life, but that's going to take 4 passive points. But Shaper, like, mana does become an issue because you're trying to cast as fast as possible. And you can see, like, my mana is going really, really fast. And I have a pretty high level clarity right now as well. As you can see, I'm regenerating 120 mana per second, and I can still kind of outstrip that a little bit. It can sustain pretty fine, but like it's on a razor's edge right now. So mana is a little bit of a concern right now. And then, yeah, we just have cast speed and lightning nodes right here. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. Yeah, this is what we got for now. And honestly, this passive tree, hard carried. Like, I'm not exaggerating. This might be the fastest push through yellow maps that I've had. Like, it definitely hits a wall in SSF. So this is not like a racing progression build at all. It hits a wall in SSF. Like, I need better gear now. As you'll see, I have like pretty average normie gear right here. I've barely upgraded it. T14 maps are starting to feel a little uncomfortable. Like, I definitely killed Baron. I think Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds are going to be a little uncomfortable. As you can see in my progression right here, I am just a few maps away, actually, from fighting Eater of Worlds and Searing Exarch, but it'll be a little uncomfortable right now. But I do want to upgrade my gear before I fight them. Very quickly on the gear, it's just regular. I'm using 2 scepters, level of skill gems, trying to get cast speed, spell damage, flat lightning damage to spells. Like I said, Khaleesi's Grace is really nice for that pseudo 5 link right off the bat. We do like armor. I'm using Molten Shell with cast no damage taken, so we are using armor. Clarity, Determination, and Wrath are our 3 auras right now. I found this crew reward, and yeah, Dexterity is kind of tough to get as well. So I have this crew reward right here, which is actually really nice. Projectile speed, projectile damage. I also got this Velako sign. I also think I got really lucky on my unique set dropped in the past day. Got a Velako sign as well. Gives me 40% increased damage and leech against shock to enemies, which is really nice. Then yeah, that's it. That's all my gear. Nothing crazy at all. You know, very lucky, of course, on these uniques. I'd be like 90% as good without these ones. I could get like equivalently good almost, right? Like I have 30% damage on this ring. I could just have another one of those. So yeah, anyway, that's the build. I don't want to go into too much more detail with the build. What I want to focus on is what I did with my progression here and how I pushed it and my plans moving forward. If you haven't seen the video that I made at the beginning of the league for how you want to do your early progression, is you want to push into expert reconnaissance, into commissioned officer, and then into shaping the seas. And these are all the nodes that you really need for pushing your Atlas. And in fact, you can skip shaping the seas if you want to, but it probably will slow down your map drops. If you want to accelerate your map drops more than crafting your gear, if you have like a very optimized build, then you can go all the way into shaping the mountains, shaping the skies, and shaping the valleys. Take all of those and you'll be able to zoom to T16 maps like instantly. You can still get to T16 maps pretty quickly if you only take one set of shaping nodes. It won't be quite as flawless as if you take all of the shaping nodes. And then basically what you want to do is you want to use every single Kirak mission. You can hold Alt and you look for the ones that say incomplete. For red maps, it has to be Vald. So yeah, this one's corrupted. So this one would give me the bonus objective as well. You know, you do all your Kirak missions. Every time you open a new Kirak mission, he will, as soon as the map opens, you can purchase new items from him. So always constantly buy everything that you can from him. As you can see, I already have all these ones done, but you just want to hold Alt, find the ones that say incomplete, buy them, do your map progression ASAP. And that's basically the flow right there. As you'll notice is I went into Expedition Harvest. This is basically like what people have been doing in Gauntlet. So you can craft your gear, and it also gives you access to a lot of currency. You can do rod crafting, you know, get a lot of bubblegum currency from Tujin. Really helps you do your progression without having to go into Heist or Delve. Keeps that fast, keeps you in your maps and progressing your Atlas. And then Harvest is, you know, still after all the nerfs, it's still best in slot for crafting up your gear. Going over here to the blue mods, then I'm going to go up here and go into Danig and Tujin. After that, I'm not sure exactly what the plan is, but yeah, that's where I'm going to progress it so far. It's been a really good learning process. Oh, other thing I want to say is do all your Sanctums. Sanctum is incredibly good. Like if I just need Vol Orbs or something, I do like 1 floor of Sanctum and I come out with, you know, 4 to 8 Vol Orbs or, you know, whatever. It's like basically just as good as Expedition for bubblegum currency. I actually have another Divine already coming in the next Sanctum. It's like if you're in softcore trade or SSF or whatever, you can just get these. All right, anyway, I just want to share with you guys my process that I'm kind of going on right now. Trying to become a better player, and, you know, hopefully through my approach here, it can be kind of instructional and fun for you guys. I'll try to record all the boss kills as it's going, the struggles that I run into, the way that I try to farm different stuff and get stuff going. Other thing that I'm working on right now is I'm going to be going through the content that kind of deserves really thick guides, like the crafting guide, expedition, all that type of stuff, and just going like really deep in that, have basically like encyclopedic guides for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be coming later this week. I actually just want to keep playing and keep leveling up this character. Honestly, doing a fresh SSF League start, if you're feeling like a little, like, I don't know what to do, I got 100 divines in regular League, none of the builds seem interesting to me, this is a really good way to freshen everything up, start fresh, and hone your skills and really just see where you lay skill-wise and knowledge-wise. At the very least, it can let you know things that you can work on next league if you want to keep improving and just learning more about the game. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow. I'll have a video then. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.